Well, looks like it's time to go. So let's go. Hello! Hello, hello, hello. We're doing lots of repours. If that wasn't quite obvious by the title. Hi Jen, hi Travo. Why am I being welcomed to glitter hell, Jen? Or is this glitter hell and everyone else is being welcomed to it? Oh gosh, so much glitter, so much glitter. Okay, so we've got, I'm mostly working on commissions. Actually, I am completely working on commissions tonight. So we've got a few repours that we're doing. This set has given me so much trouble. I've repoured this a couple of times now, and the glow-in-the-dark pigment that I've been trying to use just keeps sinking. It just keeps sinking down to the bottom. So I am getting rid of the glow-in-the-dark, and we're going to try something slightly different instead. You have a jar full of glitter and Elmer's clear glue, and you're rotating it constantly so that the glitter dries on the walls. Oh, jar full of glitter and Elmer's. Okay, I understand now. It's not like a. Okay, that makes more sense now. You're covering the inside of the jar with the glitter so that it's glittery. Okay, my brain figured it out eventually. Okay, but we're gonna remake these. I mean, I kind of got it eventually, so it did something kind of interesting at least. Like, but it's still just all sank. So the highest spaces were just ending up like a solid color, and I don't really like that. It's just not quite what I was going for. So we're getting rid of the glow-in-the-dark, and we're going to try adding some white glitter instead. I think this is the glitter we're going to use. I'm hoping it shows up. So this is for a commission. The problem with both the glow-in-the-dark and glitter is that usually I will add those once the resin is really, really thick after it's been sitting for a little bit so that it won't sink. It doesn't have time to sink and it's already, you know, thick enough that it's hard for the things to move downwards. But with the Petri, where I put the colors in and then I want them to sink, I need to do that towards the beginning so that they have time and they're able to sink through the resin. So it's hard to do both of those things in the same die because you kind of need to pour the resin at different points. And that's why I think I'm going to go with this glitter. I think this glitter is fine enough. It's a very, very fine glitter. And we're going to add some shimmer as well. We're going to add some shimmer, which we've added. This shouldn't sink. But we're going to add a little bit of shimmer as well. We were doing that anyways. But I think we're going to try this glitter just because I think it's fine enough that it won't sink. That's my hope anyway. But that's why it has given me so much trouble, is that for the glow-in-the-dark and then for the Petri, which is where you drip the ink on top and it sinks in, you kind of need the resin at different points, so it's hard to get both in there at the same time. But we're going to forego the glow-in-the-dark part. But that's one of the things we're going to be doing. I have a couple things here for a set that I've been working on. I think I could show you the set I've been working on. They're not done yet. This is for this is another commission I'm doing. A jumbo dice commission. Every die is different. They're all kind of nature themed. This one is a liquid core, but it doesn't have glitter on the inside. It has sand. Oh, it has a little bit of glitter, but it has sand and seashells in it. I kind of wanted to do that as a liquid core. I thought it was a fun idea. And that way, they don't weigh the die at all because they can move around freely, so they could end up, you know, down on any. Oh, it's drying really slowly because it's on the inside of the jar. Yeah. So anyways, I had been kind of wanting to try this because I usually avoid putting like seashells and stuff in dice. I've seen them in dice, but I don't want it to weight the die. And so I figured if I put it in a liquid core, it's not going to weight it because, you know, it's not like it's attached to any one side. It could be on any side. It's always kind of strange to me when people are like, won't your liquid core weight the die? And I'm like, no, not really, because anything that's on the inside of the liquid core can move freely to then add more weight to any face, and it's like an equal chance there. So I thought that should be fun. But for the last D10 that I need, we're doing a little pond one. Did we pour this on stream, I think? Last Saturday, I think? Anyways, it's kind of a tealy color, has a little bit of kind of moss in there, and then I painted a little lily pad on top. So we're just going to pour some clear in there. And then we have a D2 here. It's going to be kind of a volcano-y theme. And so I poured some black. Hi, Omar! How you doing? I poured some black in here because I thought that'd be kind of cool. And then we're going to do like orange and yellow like inside of it so that it's like kind of like a black kind of exterior, and then there's the orange and the yellow on the inside. I'm going to try doing a translucent orange and an opaque yellow. Just because I want something opaque in there so that it doesn't just like look black. If I do the translucent, the black's going to show up on both sides and it'll be kind of muddled. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just going through all of the various things that we're pouring tonight, as I want to do. The right use of that. Jen is in a very glittery mood. Alright, and then we've got 2 more repours. The first is this liquid core. This liquid core actually turned out alright. But it was a little bit of an experiment. Let's see if it'll focus. See, it looks fine. But if you look at the glitter, it doesn't really move. Maybe it does a little bit. And that's because I tried doing this with mineral oil instead of water. Uh-oh. Do I have to actually guess? Because this isn't going to end well. You got a new rubber duck. You got a new dog. You have decided that your favorite color is now green. I don't know. That's all the guesses I've got. But anyways, I'm going to try it again, but I'm going to do it with water, which I normally do. Omar! Well, thank you. You know, you ask me to guess every month, and I never guess correctly, even though it's literally the same thing. I think you've done this at least one other time, possibly 2. But thank you. I do really appreciate it. I know. I never learn. But yeah, we're gonna retry this with water on the inside. It worked fine with the oil on the inside, but it just doesn't really swirl. It doesn't really swirl. Like it suspends, but then the shimmer just kind of stays there. So I'm gonna make it again with water, and then we'll see what the person prefers, because it did turn out. It's just not as, it doesn't like move as much. So I've got all this stuff. Water baby oil mix? That would be weird. I don't know about, have you mixed water and oil before? Dude, you've been subscribed for 6 months? I've been here this long? Sorry, I just read the actual notification. To be fair, it might be cool to do a liquid core with water and oil in it at some point, with maybe like dyeing one of them, but not for this one, which we already have a plan for. But that might be cool at some point. I know, but we've been doing this for 6 months. I guess how long have I been streaming? I've been streaming, I guess, for more than a year. Actually, I've been streaming for probably about a year. A little bit more than a year. Because I started before Halloween of 2020. And I remember this because I streamed on Halloween, I think, of 2020. But anyways, we're gonna redo that. Put that in there, just so I can move around. And then the last dye for tonight, we're redoing this one. Oh, you forgot you had a Prime subscription the first few months? To be fair, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining. I was just like, oh man, the quarantine has made it so that everything is weird. I'm like, oh man, I have been doing this for more than a year. That's strange. That means I started making dyes more than a year ago. But we're gonna remake this dye. So I think I've got all the pieces. I've got all the pieces. It doesn't want to find it. I think I'm gonna do something. Maybe I'll get your opinion on it, Jen, since this is yours. Man, it doesn't want to find it though. Oh man, it really does not want to find it. Come on! Find it! You can find it! I know you can do it, camera! I know you could do it. Who's a good camera? Oh, there you are. There's a good camera. So, we're gonna remake this so that you can hopefully see the tower a little bit better, so that the lightning isn't falling over there. And hopefully so we can see the skulls on the bottom a little bit better. So we've already got the skulls in with the dirt and little stones. And I've remade the tower. Where's my tweezers? I'm just gonna pull some things out. I've remade the tower, the lightning. Oh, the thing that I wanted to maybe get your opinion on, Jen. So, the lightning. The way that I've made them glow in the dark is I've put some glow in the dark powder on them with some UV resin. But that kind of obscures the holographicness a little bit. I was thinking, what if I put these in so that the holographic part's on the outside, like the part that you see on the outside, and then when it glows in the dark, you'll see the glow in the dark bits kind of on like the opposite side. So I think it would still show up as lightning, but you'd kind of be looking across the die. I don't know. I'm thinking on that. But let me make sure that I have everything else. I did also realize, so originally on the first one here, I took a little bit of thread. OG method? Okay, that's cool then. We'll do that. For the first pour, I went and took some thread and I tried to put it from the crystals in there to the tower. You can't even see it, so I'm just not going to do that this time. There's no point. It didn't add anything. But I think we've got all of our pieces for that figured out. I've got my, got all of my pigments over here, and I need to grab, this for our grass. And that's just kind of like a fake turf stuff for like model making. It's like a really dark green color, but it'll work as little forest trees or something that are so small you can't even tell. And then the last couple of things, I need to do the base of this tray, and I think my plan is to do. My thought is, I'm gonna do resin. I was thinking of doing like gold over on this side to kind of cover up the sand, because it is like sand. I have sand in there. There's shells in there. Probably, yeah, I won't be able to see that, but there's shells in there that are covered up by the sand. But doing gold on this side, and then like dark blue over here. I'm debating whether I want to make it opaque or not. I think the blue should be translucent. The thing I'm debating is, do I want to put white in the middle, or do I want to do like a clear or one of the lighter blue colors maybe? The sky blue, actually. Do I want to do, this is the lightest blue color. Do I want to do that? Maybe this. White and opal flake. Oh, in the, I don't know if that would post by glitter gremlin. To be fair, maybe I should add a little bit more of the shimmer, although I do have shimmer in there. And there is some, I don't know if that would match the vibe with the actual sand, which sounds weird maybe, but like, I feel like I'm going for, I don't know. I feel like that's not necessarily going to match what I have already. Probably would. I don't know. Also, pay no attention to the hair that's definitely in there. think it'll get covered up. You always choose, that's fair, you do always choose glitter. I'm worried more about colors here and what colors I should do. I definitely want to do gold on this side for the bottom. I'm just debating, I guess what I'm really debating is, do I want to do an opaque white between the gold and the blue? Or should I leave that out? Or should I do clear? Because I don't know if I want the blue to end up mixing with the gold. Or if it will matter. It'll matter too much. I think maybe the white would not match. But maybe we'll do a little bit of like this really light blue in between and maybe some clear. Maybe just a very thin thing of clear. But okay. So you've got that tray. And then this tray, I was going to try and sand the bottom a little bit the other day, and then I realized that there's still some just like kind of rough spots here that I think it'll be easier to just pour like a little bit more resin on here, kind of flatten it out. This is, I hope the person doesn't mind me showing it. This is the tray, flower tray. So the, oh, you can see me on me, see my reflection. But yeah, it's filled with flowers and some rocks and some leaves, and that's, see, there's a rock right there. But it's filled with like flowers and stuff, and then it has that, ooh, it's hard to see, but it has that dark green stuff in there with a kind of a brown dirt base. So I was just going to do another little layer there to kind of flatten it out a little bit, because I think that'll be easier to do than try to sand things. So, and I think that is our last thing that we need to do. So let's start getting things set up. I think we'll start with, let's start with the liquid core. I'm pulling this out because we're going to need to like close off the liquid core. So I'm just getting my UV stuff ready. And we're going to use our UV light with the super complex dye anyway. But let's get this going. I'll do my trick that I've done before where I grab a random mold and use it to hold this upright. So if I set it on the table, it will fall over. And it just makes a mess. So we'll use this instead. All right. Yeah, I don't know what people usually use in their liquid cores, which maybe sounds weird. I've used water because I saw it recommended in the like how to make liquid cores video on YouTube, and I was just like, okay, I'll try that. But I don't know what other people use. Like, I don't know. Oh, if I have leftover resin, by the way, I will finally get around to doing some more solid black blanks as well. I don't know if I'll have extra resin. It honestly takes quite a bit for like the trays and stuff, but maybe. We might. I'm not sure. When I'm doing just like regular 8-piece sets or D6s or fate dice, like I know pretty accurately how much resin those take. But when we're doing like partial dice or other things, especially if it's not the full thing, you know, I have to try and estimate how much resin it's going to take. I actually have things written down in my planner that is, I have written down in my planner all of the things that I want to make, and then next to them I have how much resin I think they're going to take, or I tend to like, just like an estimate to the nearest 5 milliliters. Okay. Yeah, just to the nearest 5 milliliters. All right, let's see here. Okay. And we're just going to try and seal up this top a little bit of UV resin. And it's going to be a little bit messy, and that should be fine. We're going to cover up this messy bit with, we're going to cover up the messy bit with the solid opaque color of resin, so it should be good. I'm just trying to make it a little bit flatter so that it'll actually fit into the mold well. And we're going to go ahead and nuke that. Here, let me set it back in the mold here. There we go. Let that sit for a minute. Make sure it's all sealed up. I don't think I need my water anymore. Let me just set it off to the side. So I do think, so I got the mineral oil to try out for this dye. And obviously the shimmer in it, where did I set it? The shimmer in it, you know, it suspends the shimmer, but it doesn't move it too much. But, so it just kind of sits there. Like the shimmer just kind of sits there. But I do also like doing the liquid cores with like bigger glitter. Like it can be fun to do it with, like I have some butterfly shaped glitter or some star shaped glitter, or little metal kind of things. Like I have these I have little metal gears and things. You know, little gears. Actually, gears might be fun. And I'm thinking maybe, let me put this away on my shelf here and not knock everything over. But I'm thinking maybe it might be cool to do like a liquid core with some of the bigger things in it and use the mineral oil for that. Because I think in that case it would make it so that they fall a lot slower, and it might be easier to see them. Because it's kind of hard to see them at the moment. Okay, let's see if there's any holes in this. Seems fine. Okay, I think, let's just shake that up a second and see how that looks. Here, I'll show you the water. So we took a look at the oil, where it just kind of sits suspended. With the water, it moves a lot more. You can see the shimmer. It's actually like moving and swirling. So that's kind of the kind of what we're looking at with the difference there. I'm gonna cook that one more time. Probably doesn't need it, but just in case. And then we'll start getting our complex dye here figured out. I'm trying to remember, did I use glue? Did I use Elmer's glue, or did I use UV resin to try and put these in here before? That's what I'm trying to remember. I used UV resin for the lightning. Remember that. But I don't remember if I did it for the other stuff, because it would be difficult to get the light in there, to be honest. Purple resin. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. Okay. I'm going to want a D20 up for that. Cool. So we've got our pieces here. We've got kind of like a little platform on the inside. T-poses to assert dominance, or what are we doing here? Oh, drink a tea. Just because. All right. I'm so sorry for asking, ma'am. Sir. Your Royal Highness. I'm gonna use all of the all of the titles. Yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to remember if I used UV resin or not. We can try it. Let's try it and see what happens. I just need things to kind of tack in place, so. Actually here, you know what, I'm just gonna put a little dollop there, and we can just kind of dip things in that. Oh no, wait, we can't dip things in that because I'm gonna need to put the UV light over that. Didn't think that through very well, did I? Although, if I can get all of these in there, I don't care too much. No, I think I need to do those one at a time. Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna take that resin, put it over here out of the way, and try to get these in here one at a time. That's the little tiny crystal shapes. So let's see if that will actually like set that in place. You're gonna put in your order sometime tomorrow. You're being responsible and waiting for payday to roll around tonight. Yeah, there's no rush, no rush. But sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Is there any like particular kinds of mushrooms that you're thinking for the dice? Because I've done. I'm pulling out down some mushrooms that I've made. I have little, because there's like this kind of mushrooms, or there's this kind of mushrooms, or you could go little cartoony ones, little cartoony mushrooms. Actually, I have all sorts of strange. Actually, I have some little kind of cartoony mushrooms here too. But yeah, is there like a particular kind of mushroom that you were thinking? Here's one of these little ones. Is that going to stay? Let's see. No, I don't think so. Okay, I don't think that's gonna work. We're gonna do some Elmer's glue, I think. First time with the red. Alrighty, I'll make some little tiny ones. All right, let me grab the Elmer's glue. The nice thing about UV resin is that it's immediate. Yeah, the red one's with the tiny little white. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. The good thing about the, I mean, we could also do different kinds of mushrooms and different dice too. Like we could do like a different kind of mushroom for every die. But we can do just the red ones. I like the red ones. They're what I think of when I think of mushrooms. Okay, so the nice thing about UV resin is that it's like sets immediately. But the problem with UV resin is that you need light to be able to set it. So for something like this, where we're working in a small little area and there's the things that we're trying to put down are opaque, it's a little difficult. A little difficult to do. So we're going to just try gluing these with a little bit of Elmer's glue instead. A little bit of Elmer's glue instead. So let's try that. I don't actually want too much Elmer's glue because it's going to dry faster if I don't have as much Elmer's glue. The only problem with this is that now I have to try and hold it in place as it dries, or at least keep it in the right place as it dries. We just want it to kind of stay. Oh man, I can't remember if I did UV, maybe I did do UV resin because I don't remember it being too much trouble getting these in. I don't remember. Don't remember what I did. Actually, it might have been a little bit of trouble getting these in now that I think about it. These might have been a pain. I think the crystals were a pain to get in. So I'm kind of putting them equidistant around the dye, if I can get them to actually sit where they're supposed to sit. Okay, and there's our red one. And we'll get our blue one. Yeah, I think I must have used UV resin or something, because I think I put things in fairly quickly. I don't remember. So let me get that. Alright, just trying to get them kind of at an angle that I want. Let that sit for a minute. And then I have a little kind of like, watch the VOD. Man, I don't want to go back and look right now. I'm in the middle of something. I'm in the middle of streaming. I ain't got time for that. That is actually something that I've done every once in a while, though, where I'm just like, how did I make this set of dice? That's part of what I use my streams for, is as a record of how I do things. So I've got this little base plate that I'm putting in here. The reason that I have, and that's for the tower to rest on, and the reason that I have kind of a separate piece for the tower to rest on is because I'm going to be adding all of this grass. And if I have the tower in, it's kind of in the middle, so it'll get in the way of trying to put all of this grass in there. But if I don't have the tower in, I will end up covering up the spot where the tower goes, and then it'll be hard to put the tower in. So with the little base plate there, I know where the tower's going to go, so I don't cover it with the grass, but the tower's not in the way for when I'm putting things in there. So we'll give that a minute. Okay, let the glue dry. Let's see, while we do that, let me set my lightning off to the side here so I don't know, accidentally bonk it somewhere. Let's maybe start getting all of our colors into our mixing cups. I think that's going to be what we end up doing next. So for this dye, for the kind of like storm up here at the top, we have 4 different colors. We've got our phthalo blue, we've got our graphite silver, and then we've got a couple of multi-chrome pigments as well, which means that they're like multiple colors depending on the angle that you view them at. So let's get our mixing cups for those. Let me pull out some mixing cups for those. And I don't want very much of them. I don't want to saturate the resin with too much of the pigment, because then it'll make it so that it sinks. You'd be like, requires a complicated step-by-step process for me. This is I've said it before. This is probably the most complex dye that I've ever made. Actually, no, this is absolutely the most complex dye that I've ever made. And like, now that I have all the pieces figured out, it's not bad, but just figuring out all of the individual pieces for it has been like, oh gosh, I need to figure out what they are and how to make them, because like, most of the complex inclusions that I do only have one sort of, like, one kind of complex inclusion. They either have like something that is painted or something that is made out of polymer clay, or, you know, like, it's usually kind of just one material that I'm doing something else in. Whereas this this dye has 3D printing, which I did some 3D modeling. It has polymer clay with the little skulls. It's got, well, I 3D printed the crystals and made those out of resin, and the orb for the tower here, same thing. And then the lightning I actually put off the longest, because I was just like, I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. Fun fact was like, I have no idea how I'm gonna do the lightning. Luckily I had the right material that I needed. So the lightning, be like, scares Liz about lightning inclusions. It's true though, so like, I don't know if, how do you think, you know, I got this lightning? Because, I feel like it's one of those things where you don't think about it being too difficult, but then you have to like figure out what material you're using and then how to get that shape. So in my case, the material was this. You can give lightning insight. That actually would be helpful. Well, we wanted something that was holographic and also glowed in the dark. So I ended up using this, and I cut it out with this, which is just a craft knife. Probably an easier way to do it, but just because of the like specific material we wanted and stuff, probably X-Acto knife, my beloved. Ah, it stuck to me. I might have been able to do something like that with like a Cricut or something. I don't have one, but my grandma does. Oh man, I need to make some things. I need to work on some Christmas presents. Gosh. Sorry, I just thought about that. I got some, this is completely unrelated to that, I got some molds for some soap, for like soap dishes in the other day, because I want to, because I'm going to make a soap dish for one of my grandmas for Christmas. Apparently that's what she wants for Christmas. And then I went and measured how much resin it takes a day, and it takes like 100 milliliters of resin. So I'm just like, okay, this is going to happen on a Monday when I do nothing but this. That's one over there. But anyways, what was I saying? What was I saying? Oh, but how would you suggest doing lightning, Omar? Because I'm sure there's a better way to do it. I just didn't do a better way. I know that you have the friend that made the lightning dice that were very cool. You sent photos of those in the Discord at one point. Wire, shape wire with needle nose pliers, then cast and pour with glowy powder. Yeah. I think my brother and I talked about that at one point. The only holdup was making it holographic. That was the only holdup was the holographicness. But I think if I do like lightning in the future, not for a commission, just in general, I'll probably do that. Do some really thin wire. That does seem much easier. All right, use that. Yeah, I did pour some resin on teeny tiny hollow flakes. Oh, and then like roll it in holographic glitter. Like, to be fair, that's not a bad idea. That could be kind of fun. I think I got some holographic glitter. The soap molds that I got for some reason came with holographic glitter. Like, I got the soap molds, and then for some reason it also came with holographic glitter. So now I have some like really fine holographic glitter, which is good because I think I was running out. Actually, wait, I might not be. No, I'm not running out. I have a salt shaker full of holographic glitter on the shelf behind me. Yes. Okay. Which maybe sounds weird to have a salt shaker of holographic glitter. Now that I say that out loud, it's with my soap making stuff, because the holographic glitter that I have is actually like it's for like bath products. It's a biodegradable like eco glitter that's actually meant for use with like that's the pretty salt. I mean, it says it's biodegradable. I don't know if it's edible. Don't know if that's the intended purpose of the holographic glitter. I don't know. I'm sure I've used it with soap before. Didn't use it with any of the soap that I made recently. I made some soap, so I'm doing a holiday bazaar towards the beginning of December. No, bad attitude, it isn't. I'm doing a holiday bazaar towards the beginning of December. Planning to anyways, assuming everything goes to plan. And, you know, the things are okay with everything health-wise. Not me, I mean just the world in general and locally. But, I went and made soap for that. And then if I have leftover, not necessarily leftover, but like stuff that doesn't sell, it'll go into my shop. But also I now have silicone molds for soap dishes. Problem is that I probably won't make a ton of them, like pre-make a ton of them, because they take so much resin. Okay, where is a good? Just trying to find. Where's a good mixing cup for this? Okay, I'm just dropping things. When you were younger, you thought bazaar was bizarre, and when you went to your first bazaar, you were like, this isn't that weird. Yeah, it's even as an adult, it has taken me so long to figure out how to spell bazaar. Because I always try to, like, I think I spell it right now, but I'm so used to spelling bizarre instead of bazaar. They sound so similar. They sound so similar. I'm going to the strange and weird. I'll see you after lunch. I've done this bazaar a couple of years, even before I did resin stuff. I made soap because I got super into making soap. I went with a friend. So how I got into soap making, I went with a friend to a bookshop that had cats in it because I thought I'd like it, which of course I did. And I found a book on, actually it's sitting over there. It's on how to make cold process soap. So that's the soap that requires oils and lye. And man, I was so excited. So excited about that book. And so I got it. And I'm sure I annoyed my friend with how much I was talking about that book on the bus back to their place. But I was so excited about making soap. And I started making soap. But the problem with soap is that, like, the minimum amount that I can make at once is 2 pounds of soap, which is about 10 bars of soap. They're about 4 ounces each. So, like, once you start making soap, you just have so much soap. It's like, what am I going to do with all of this soap? It's fun to make, but it's just like, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this. So much soap. So I went and did a local bazaar just because I needed a way to get rid of all that soap. Okay, so I don't really want a lot of this because, like I said, I don't want this to be super saturated because I don't want it to sink. I want enough that it has the color though. How much resin am I going to put in here? I don't even need 2.5 in here. So we're just doing a little tiny bit. Little tiny bit. Little tiny bit. If I can get the lid back on, there we go. Couldn't get the lid back on. And let me start setting those off to the side. Because this is going to be the storm at the top. Yeah, the thing with the storm. So there's like 3 things really that we're trying to fix here. We're trying to fix the skulls at the bottom so that they actually show up more. And that should be fixed. That layer's already in there. We want the lightning to kind of stay more separated in its own spot, which I think I'm just gonna make sure that it's attached better this time. And then the third kind of issue is that it's hard to see the like top of the tower. It's covered up by the storm. Like you can kind of see it in there. You can kind of see it in there, but it's hard to see. Like if you angle it, you can kind of see it, but it's just covered up by the storm a lot. And so that's honestly the last piece that I'm not quite sure how we're gonna fix too well. Let me just look at something real quick. How tall is this going to be once it's in? Let me just grab the tower here. Okay. It might be a little bit lower than it was last time. We might be okay. I just want to make sure that the color stays kind of centered at the top a little bit. Because we do want it swirling above there. We want the lightning to be coming from somewhere. We don't want the lightning just like randomly there. But part of the reason that I don't want to oversaturate the resin is because I can see that this is kind of sinking a little bit. See, it's kind of moving downwards and stuff. So if I can prevent it moving downwards too much, I can hopefully keep it at the top a little bit better. That's why I'm trying to add so little of the pigment, to be honest. Because I don't think it'll take much. We just want enough that it's going to actually show up and look like it's supposed to be there. And kind of cover the top of the lightning a little bit. So we're just adding a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. If we need to add more, once we actually pour the resin in there, it's just like, that's not saturated enough. Well, we can add some more. But I'm going to start with less. It's harder to take some out than it is to add a little extra after we've already poured the resin in there. Because that would just be a mess, trying to remove that. Little bit of our shimmery black type one here. I have two different, just a second here. So I have two different ones here that are very similar. Ah, come on, come back to me. Ah, I think I have the wrong one. Yeah, there we go. I was like, I don't think that's right. Yeah, it's this one, because this is the one that's been opened before. I'm pretty sure. Because I was looking at the colors in here, and I'm like, this has kind of sparkles of like kind of some reds and oranges. And this one's a little bit more purpley. We want this one. This one I'm pretty sure is the red, orange, yellow, green. Yeah. I think this is the correct one. Yeah, this one looks correct. Yeah, this is the right colors in it. The other one had some like cooler tones in it, which wouldn't necessarily be bad, but it isn't the color combination that we figured out before. So add a little tiny bit of this. Alright, I have barely any in there. We might end up having to add more of this one. Didn't really add that much at all, but again, I don't really want to add too much. We might need a little bit more of a couple of these pigments, we'll see. We'll see. And I think that should be all of those elements. Let us start adding our grass. I think things have dried enough in there to actually, you know, kind of stay. So I think we can start adding our little bit of well, not tiny trees. It's model making fluffy green stuff. Do I want to use UV resin? I might be able to do UV resin for this instead of the Elmer's fluffy green. Yes, patented fluffy green stuff. Try the gray stuff, it's delicious. I just realized that I know a lot of the lyrics to that song. Fluff, fluff, fluff. I resin would work for this. I think maybe the UV resin would work for this, because I think you'd be able to see enough light in between all the little fluff bits. Oh dear, I just tried to set that in UV resin and it fell apart. So I have, here it is, let me. Here's all of our pieces over here. Maybe I did use Elmer's glue. Let me just try this. I have some UV resin there. Yeah, we're gonna use some Elmer's glue, I think, because this is just making a mess. Also, there's a cat hair there. What happened? Get out of there, cat hair. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get that to sit in there, but I think we're gonna go back to the What? Okay, you don't have to, it might be true, but you don't have to tell people. It's supposed to be a surprise. Man, yeah. That's the best part of the surprise cat hair with every dye. Bonus. I just want you all to know that I now have Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast stuck in my head, which is such a non sequitur. Okay, we're gonna do this with some Elmer's glue instead, I think, because I think that's gonna, yeah. Let me actually, I think Elmer's glue is gonna work better than the UV resin. We are going to use the UV resin to attach the lightning, because I don't think there's any way I'm going to get that to attach with Elmer's glue. But we're doing Elmer's glue for the grass stuff, because it's just not going to stick with the UV resin. There's not a good way for me to get the light down in there, I don't think. Be our guest. Man, I would sing so much more on stream if I wasn't afraid of getting copyright struck. Because it would just be that perfect. No, man, I've always got some, that's been me since I was a kid, though. I always had some music stuck in my head. I was that kid that was just, like, singing all the time. Like, didn't matter when or where. I was always at least humming to myself. I was that kind of weird kid. Which, I mean, you know, fair. It's not surprising to me now. There's a lot of things that I, like, look back on of, like, things that I did as a kid. I'm just like, man, I really should have got an ADHD diagnosis sooner. Really should have. I don't know what the rules are exactly. I am just so cautious. I'm so, like, so unbelievably cautious when it comes to stuff like that. Especially Disney songs. Wouldn't want to do that. It's quite probable I'd be fine. Like, it's not like I'm doing a full musical production or something, but I don't know. I don't want to risk it. Don't want to risk it. I'm a very cautious, rash person. That's how I've described myself in the past. I'm a very cautious, rash person. Like, I don't know. I'm not really all that rash, I guess. There's, like, I've made some big decisions, just like I decided to get a cat just one day, but at the same time, it was at a point where I'm just like, okay, I know that I can afford this, and I know that I have the space for it. Like, it wasn't, like, completely not thought out or anything. It was just a what's the word? spur of the moment kind of decision at the time, but it wasn't like not thought out at all. It's the same thing with my house, actually. I need something to, this, like, even in podcasts and YouTube videos, people are like, hey, don't keep going. Wait, what do you mean, hey, don't keep going? With, like, music stuff? Let's try this one. I'm not quite sure what exactly you mean. Oh, with singing. Yeah. No, I know. I'd love to do some sort of music something. I'm kind of sad that Twitch Sings disappeared. It actually disappeared the day that I got Twitch affiliate. Fun fact. I'm kind of sad that it disappeared that same day. Because I never really got to mess around with it much, because there's certain functionality that you couldn't have with it unless you had affiliate. So there's some yeah, I don't know. Did it with Square at one point on her stream, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it disappeared like the day that I got affiliate, if I remember correctly. If not, like the day after. Because we were going to do, yeah. Yeah. Ah, it's stuck to my tweezers. Get off! Get off! There's like a little bit of glue on my tweezers, and so it's sticking. Stop that. Okay. We're good. We're all good. See, what I need to do is just figure out my like, create my own music. That'd be so much work. It's so much work writing music. So much work. Okay, come on. It's sticking to my tweezers. Stop sticking to my tweezers. Alright. It's just that little tiny bit of glue on there. It's making them all sticky. Okay. Alright. Alright. Rebellious fluff. People have gotten strikes for their own music. Yeah, because it just does like, yeah, I know. And which is just silly, because it's like, I think it's probably a little bit automatic. It's not even like, you know, they give you a copyright strike when someone says, hey, that's my music. They probably just go looking for music. Would be my guess. Have a bot go looking for music or something and be like, okay, we found music. It must be stolen or something. That'd be my guess. That's you know, on the one hand, I understand having bots do certain things, but at the same time, AI is not always the best because it has no nuance to it at all. Like, it doesn't, computers don't think. Like, computers don't really think. They just do what we tell them to do. So if you say, hey, go out and find music that exists somewhere, it's just going to go out and find music that exists somewhere. And it's not going to actually differentiate, like, any nuances. That's the thing. That's the thing with bots, is there's no nuance to them. No nuance at all. Come on. It's just, like, trying to get kind of grass all over the floor. Yeah, that is one of the reasons that I don't have music on stream usually. The real reason I don't have music on stream is because I end up wearing a respirator for, you know, at least half of it usually. And so I think it'd be difficult to understand me if there was secondary noise. It's possible that if I did like video game streams or something, I could see having music on in the background. Because I feel like, one, I'd have a better microphone, and two, I wouldn't have something over my mouth, like actively making it difficult to understand what I'm saying in addition to the music. But that's just me and liking to be able to hear things. You know, I don't know. There's pros and cons to it, I guess. I just fill up all of the blank air with my incessant nattering. I do think that that's something that music is maybe kind of good for. Is it does mean that, like, I wouldn't have to talk the whole time. Sort of. You know, it fills in that blank space a little bit. Alright. Try to get this in here. Alright. It's currently on top of the, No, get off of the... It's stuck to the, It's decided it wants to try and stick to the crystal part, and I need it on the other side of the crystal thingy. How did I do this before? I swear this went smoother the first time. How did I do this? How did I do this before? How did I do this before? I wonder if maybe I had like kind of bigger pieces, maybe? I don't remember. Maybe I did do it with the UV resin. Come on. I just need to get it down in there. Yes! I think I've got it squished down. I think I've got it squished down to kind of the area that I want it. So I've got kind of most of the areas filled in. I need to get in front of the red crystal that's in here. Oh, I think I got something kind of in the at least the vicinity. No, go down. Stick not to me. It's sticking to my tweezers. Stop sticking to the tweezers. That's not where I need you to be. You're supposed to stick to the resin thing, not to the tweezers. It's stuck to the tweezers. Let go. That sounds like me when like the cats claw at my leg. Let go. Let go. Okay. Come. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The glue. The glue. Like I got like the oh boy. The glue like trying to find kind of like a dry spot of the stuff to okay. I'm gonna try and squish that. Okay, cool. We got something over in front of the red. That's what I was trying to do. Trying to get something over in front of the red crystal that's in there. And then I think this big piece here is all kind of falling apart. It's all falling apart. Let me put it along the edge. Is there a cat here in there? There's a cat here. Get out of there! Did I get it? It'll just look like lightning. It's fine. I think I got it, maybe. I think maybe I got it. I think part of my problem maybe is that this green stuff is falling apart a whole bunch. It's not, it doesn't want to stick together. Just making it a little bit difficult to place. Oh my gosh, it just wants to stick to the tweezers. Just to the tweezers. I hope you are all here to watch me suffer, because that's what you're getting. That's what you're getting tonight. It's just suffer. Just watching me suffer as I try to place fake moss stuff in here. Alright, I think I'm almost good. Almost good. At the moment it's still bad. Okay, no, I think I'm almost done. If only it would actually get off of my tweezers. That is my tweezers. Part of it might be that this glue is rather old, and so it is rather thick, and so it's just kind of sticky. Like, it's very viscous. But it does make it so that things just kind of stick to each other. Which I guess is what glue is supposed to do, but... Oh, come on. I don't want to mess up the crystal that's in there. Alright, I think that's pretty okay. One more little spot. One more little spot. One more little spot. One more little spot. Okay, let me just double check here and see how everything's looking. See if I got all of my areas covered for the most part. I think so. Like, there's a couple areas that don't have a lot of grass, but let's see if we can get just a little tiny bit more here. It's not going to be super noticeable if there's a couple of barren spots. It'll just kind of give it a little bit more interest with some unevenness, but put that in front of the red. How's the blue? Kind of press things down a little bit so that hopefully I don't want to block any of the crystals or anything. All right, I think we're good. I think we are good. So next piece to add, actually let me clear up my green mess here. All of my green fluff. The fluff! The rebellious fluff. Let me clean this up. Get that out of the way. Fluff. Yes, the fluff. And then I think we want to add the tower next. I think the tower we're going to do with a little bit of glue. And then the lightning we will do with some UV resin. Because the tower can hold in place for a second while it dries. But the lightning would be a little bit harder to do, I think. So let's put our tower in. All right. I think the tower's looking pretty good. I'll make sure that that doesn't, you know, fall over or anything. That wouldn't be good. While it's drying a little bit, and then let's start to add our lightning. So the way I'm going to get the lightning to stay upright, and this is how I did it last time, I'm just going to need to be kind of gentle, is I'm putting some UV resin on kind of the bottom of it, and then I'm kind of sticking it to the crystals in there. And I'm gonna hold that. No, don't move, tower. Don't move. You don't need to move. It's fine. But let's see if I can hold this where I want it. And I can't even hold it, let alone where I want it. My tweezers don't want to work with me today. Okay. Hold this where we want it. And then turn the light on. And hopefully that's touching where I need it to. And hopefully it will attach. Okay. Looks like it's attaching. So we'll let that do that. And we're going to do that for all of the little lightning pieces. And try to kind of have them evenly spaced out there around the outside. And I have different sized lightning because I feel like that's kind of fun. All right, and then I think all of the pieces will be in for that. Yes. And then we just need to get all of our pigments put into our cups for our other things. Just looking here at what else I'm going to need cups for. All right. So we've got one lightning in there. Let's do our other ones. I'll add my big one next. Let's figure out here. I think this one's going to go kind of opposite side. I think I need a little bit more UV resin on this. This one, actually, I might only use 2. I'll see. I'm thinking I might only use 2 of the lightning because I have kind of the smaller one on one side and then like this larger one kind of between 2 of the crystals, maybe. I'm not 100% sure if that might be like enough, you know. I don't know if I'm gonna want more lightning than that. No, don't break. Actually, let's go ahead and attach that. I do just have one little tiny thing of lightning left. So we'll see how that looks. Make sure everything's attached. I might try and add a little bit more of the UV resin in there, kind of around it, because it shouldn't really show up too much. Shouldn't be too visible. But I want to make sure that those stay in place. But let's give that a moment under the heat lamp there, like a lizard. Well, while we're doing that, let me clean up my mixing cups here. So let's see here. So maybe I'll clean up my mixing cups. Okay, let's see how that's looking. Okay, that seems to be pretty attached. That seems pretty attached. Okay, I think I could fit this last one in here, actually. I'll put this last one in here. Ah! Stop that. I'm trying to hold on to you. Stop trying to not hold on. No. Stop that. Just a second. There's no way to turn this light off, so I have to just unplug it and plug it back in if I want to turn it off. Okay, oh my gosh, I can't. Okay, we're grabbing the other tweezers because I can't hold that with these tweezers for some reason. I feel like I can hold it better with these tweezers. Okay. Okay, we'll try that. And then once the lightning's in there, I think that'll be all set to go. That's exciting. And then we can make sure we have all of our pigments and pour resin. So for let's see, for that we've got all of our pigments because it's just going to be clear with our shimmery storm. We've got a couple more that I need to grab mixing cups for. Okay. Including this one that I'm cleaning out right now. So this is for the beach themed tray that we're going to do kind of the bottom of. Just getting some of the old resin out of there, but it's going to be the same color, so I'm not too worried about those. I do need one more for our gold, though. All right, let's see. How's this looking? There is a spot here that's not very secure, so I'm just going to add a little bit of UV resin, see if I can get that a little bit more secure. I'm going to use up some of this UV resin, I think, to try and solidify some things. That's not what I want. I don't need the UV resin there. So let's see if that helps. But anyway, let's see, another mixing cup for the gold. Actually, I need one. This one looks like it was yellow, which is perfect, so I need one for yellow. We need one for... No, not the mixing cups. I just got a whole bunch of mixing cups over here that I've used before. I really should get some more of this size of mixing cup, the like medicine cup ones that have the things on the side. What are... I know words. The like measurement on the side, I guess. That have, yeah, like the thing that shows how full it is, how many milliliters it is. Because, like, I think I'm out of new ones. Because I've used them, which is part of the reason that these end up getting reused so much, is because they are useful. And I need to get more. Okay, I think those are all in there pretty good. Got all of our lightning in there. Hopefully it's not too much lightning or anything, but I think we're good. So I think that is all ready to go. Let's get... I'm going to get my UV resin here. It's extra. I'm just going to cook that so we can peel it off and, like, not have to deal with a mess there. So this mixing cup had yellow. I'm going to just go use it with... Okay. I'm going to use this for the orange that's going to go with yellow anyways. So it's not like, if we get a little bit of yellow in there, it's not a big deal. Alright. Cool. So cool. It's solid enough that I can actually peel it off now, instead of having sticky tweezers and a lid here. Alright. Yeah, cool. Let's see here. Oh, let me put my glue away too. I think we're all done with the glue. We don't need that out anymore. It's just going to get in the way. And I think we're done with this too. I think we're done with our UV resin. I can't think of anything else that we're going to need to attach somewhere. So let me put this away as well. Where's my box for this? Oh, over here. Lightning secured. The lightning has been secured. All right. We've got all of our pigments there. We need another mixing cup over here for our gold. For the gold. Oh. I just found our mixing cups from the last time that I did. This is all of these colors. I have secured the lightning. The lightning is secure. Over. Okay. Oh, perfect. That peeled right out. We'll use this for the gold. Perfect. Perfecto. And let's see, we need, okay, we've got a mixing cup there for our gold flake. We need one for our resin over here that's going to be shimmery and also have a little bit of like a white glitter in it as well. Actually, for that, we're going to use one of these because that's for the commission over here that it's going to take about glitter. It's going to take about 30 milliliters. It's going to take 30 milliliters of resin, if not a little tiny bit more. So that is a full one of these. So it's hard to mix, so we're going to put it in here. Put it in here instead. Let's see here. Let's grab a stir stick. And I'm going to dip it in there. And I want a little bit of shimmer in here. A little bit of shimmer, a little bit of glitter. So I'm going to add a bit of that. It really does, woo, glitter. Really doesn't take much of that shimmer to you know, get it to shimmer a little bit. So we're adding a little bit extra. And then for this glitter, we're just gonna add a little bit in there. I think that'll be good. See how that looks. If we need to add more, we can, but I think that'll be plenty, to be honest. So that's going to be the main resin, and then we have our inks over here that are going to get dripped in there as well. Let's see here. Over here, these both had yellow in them, but one of them is going to have orange. This one, I might be able to peel the yellow out of this, actually. It has a little bit, it looks like it's the same yellow, so I'm not too worried. All right. So, add a little bit of yellow shimmer. And this one, okay, there's going to be maybe 2.5 milliliters of resin at most of this. I really don't think I'll need even that much, so that should be plenty of yellow. Because this is going to be going into a D2. This is half of the D2, which already has a little bit of resin in it already, because it has the black here. And we're going to have the orange. So it really shouldn't take very much resin at all, because this doesn't take very much resin at all. Alright, so we've got that. I've got our orange ready to go. Got all of our stuff for our Jumbo D20 there. Let's get these. So for our, we're doing a repour of this D20, but with water instead of oil in it. So we want our colors. Again, I'm going to do kind of a dark silver color at the bottom, like this. Nice kind of gunmetal silver. And then we're going to do the top with clear with some gold foil in it. So we'll get the gold foil in a second too, but let's get the silver first. That shouldn't take very much either. That's probably even more than I need. I would guess that that's probably more than I need for the silver. Silver bells. Oh, see, that's what I should do. I should figure out what is there, I don't know. Is there Christmas music that is, what's the word I'm looking for? Out of copyright, or whatever you want to call it. It's old enough that, you know, I don't need very much resin here either. That might be public domain. That's the words I was looking for. Yes, that might be enough gold foil right there, because it's gonna be mixed with clear. I'm going to set this on top. We might need this, but that might be enough gold foil as is. So we'll add more if we need to. I don't want to add so much that it's like difficult to see the liquid core. That's really not going to take very much resin at all. And then let's see, for our ocean thing over here, got our two blues. And then we're going to do our, get out of there, cat hair. Get out of there. That tree's already got its free piece of cat hair in it, which I don't think should be visible. But we're going to add some gold pigment. And so they can go on the bottom of the sand here. That's going to be plenty of pigment. That's probably way more than I need. Alrighty. And then I might do a little bit of clear in between. We'll see. This actually has like 4 different colors of blue. I'm just going to do 2. And I think that I'm going to leave it translucent. I was debating whether I wanted to leave it translucent or do something opaque on the bottom. But I feel like the mix of opaque with the sand and then the translucent of the blue is kind of fun. So we're keeping it like that. I think that's pretty much everything. Let me grab stir sticks for all these ones that don't have them, because some of these just don't have stir sticks yet. And let's see here. And then I think we'll be pretty much ready to pour some resin. I think that's everything. I think before we pour resin, I'm going to take like a 3-minute break because I just had a big mug of tea. So I'm going to go take a bathroom break real quick, and then I will be right back, and we will get out our resin to pour. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Wait, no, that's not the right page. That's the right page. There we go. I am back. I'm ready to pour resin. And there is a cat hair in the dregs of my tea. Wait just a second. Now I'm ready to pour some resin. Alright, so let's get our safety equipment. Namely gloves. Well, glove. And a respirator. Oh, actually, before we do that, I should make sure that I have a mixing cup so I can mix all of this in instead of, oh dear, okay. Oh man. Really should clean these beforehand, shouldn't I? Let's do this one. This one's mostly cleaned out. Mostly dead. Alright, there's a few drips in here. Let's get that. Let's get this cleaned out completely. So to do that, I'm going to turn this inside out. And you can see all of the spots of resin on there. Lots of little bits of resin. And we're going to grab some packing tape and like try to get all of the spots off. Alright. I must say, I do like... You're excited once again. Man, yeah, I am excited as well. I really hope that this repour like addresses all of the just little kind of bug fixes in the first one. Because I feel like it really is kind of minor things in the first one. I think the biggest issue in the first one is the visibility of the tower, which I think is also the thing that I'm least sure about fixing with this one, which is kind of the repour will be perfect. I cast perfect repour. But yeah, the only piece that I am not 100% sure on is the is making the tower more visible, because that's just something that I don't have as good of control over, because that's just going to be partially how the resin decides to move. I don't have a good solution for it. If this doesn't turn out, we will use the smaller tower. That's the only real fix I can think of, is to make the tower slightly smaller so that it sits below the storm a little bit more. So, but we'll see if we can get it. See if we can get it. No, we will get it. We will get it. It will be perfect. It'll be perfect. Let me just grab one little tiny bit more piece of tape. There we go. Because this thing's... no! Don't stick to yourself! But also we have good rapport, so, you know, maybe that'll... see, as a bard you have good rapport, and then hopefully as someone who makes resin I have a good rapport. That's how it works, right? Rapport and rapport, yeah. Exactly. I'm glad that you got the word that I was saying. To be fair, I was gonna say, is it report? No, it's rapport. Because like my brain, I was like rapport, and then I thought about how this word was spelled, and I was like report, and I'm like, no, it's pretty sure it's rapport, which is more of like, rapport is like having a good relationship with someone, right? Like a good, or like conversational almost, isn't it? Like a rapport is kind of like being good at having a... Your spell goes beyond all boundaries of the English language. And yeah, that's rapport. Okay. A good rapport. Alright. That's looking pretty good. Let's flip this baby right side out. And maybe get some of this stuff off the outside, because there's like a piece of moss here. Omar, if you're out there, please add any buffs to this free pour. Alright. I think we've got our mixing cup there. Grab a stir stick. And we're gonna go. With our fingers crossed, and our perfect repour spell cast. Let's get all of these repours done, because I'm doing a lot of repours today. Alright. Let's get all this on. Oh. Oh man, just like my nose itches. There's cat hair in my mask. Every once in a while, like on Monday, I was pouring resin, and then something was just tickling my nose so bad. I wonder if maybe there's a cat hair in here. My nose itches. Okay. Better to do that now before I get all the resin out. Alright. Alright. Fair. Got to figure out the correct, the buffs. Correct buffs. Alright, let's get our resin out and ready to go. So, let's pour. We're going to do 100 milliliters of resin total, so we're going to do 50 milliliters of this, and 50 milliliters of our hardener. I'm going to start with this. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves, because I'm going to be dead silent as I pour this so that I can actually focus on it. So I'll be right back. Alright, there's the resin pour. Partially on my thumb. I don't need it on my thumb, thank you. And then we grab the hardener. And we will do 50 milliliters of that as well. Okay, and there's our 50 milliliters of that. Alright, let's get this all stirred up. So now you've got a little bit of time to think up what sort of buffs or debuffs if you want to not no. To add to this, since it's gonna be a minute while we stir this. Oh, so what did you guys do today? Let's see, what did I do today? I got some things sanded today, which is good. That's like, I spend so much time just sanding. I feel like that's got to be the like biggest time sink almost. It's kind of nice because I feel like it's something that if I don't know, like it's easy to just start and stop to a certain extent. Sanding things is. So it's like something that's easy to just like do a little bit of it at a time if I need to. Let's see. Liz will be pouring the resin. Jen will be hoping it gets in. The rest of the chat is distracted by cats, but Liz will crit in this session. I could have read that better. But wait, I need to. Okay. You know, I mean, I feel like that is, you know, definitely going to make it work. Yep. Definitely bardic inspiration. That is great though. I'm so happy that you wrote a limerick. That's great. Sorry, I just had to read it again to myself. Oh, that's great. Never mind, I found out what Omar has done today, and that is wrote a limerick. Because that is the most important part of whatever he's done today. Oh man, yeah. No, I sanded a bunch of things today. I finally went and watched Over the Garden Wall, which I had like heard of like years ago and never actually watched. Because I was finally like, man, I should watch that at some point. So today I was just like, I'm gonna go find it. I'm gonna go find it and watch it. And it was good. It was good. It was fairly short, so I, watched the whole thing. The episodes were only like 12 minutes long or something, so there's 10 of them, so it was 2 hours. Just watched that while I did my sanding. But that was, yeah. I gotta figure out what I want to watch next. I can't just do Minecraft YouTube videos every time I'm sanding things. Gotta find something else to put on in the background. Apart from Minecraft YouTube videos. I've been watching a lot of Minecraft YouTube videos. Oh, that reminds me, guys. Saturday. I'm gonna be streaming at a different time on Saturday. That's the plan anyway. I'm gonna be streaming 3 hours earlier than usual on Saturday. I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna stream at 9 o'clock. That's the plan anyway. 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday. And we're gonna play some Minecraft. But yeah, that's the plan anyways, because of some schedules and stuff. I now have plans at noon, so we're gonna do it a little bit earlier. I have some things I want to work on in Minecraft anyway, so it should be a fairly chill stream. We're gonna decorate some things, but yes, it will be at 9 o'clock and not noon like normal. So Set your set your calendars? No, that's something. Set your clocks. I did realize today at like 5, I think, that it's just like, oh, the time changed. I hope everyone knows that if the time didn't change for them, that I'm gonna be streaming an hour different from when they're used to it. But I assumed that the time changed for most people. Also, it was at 5 p.m. I'm like, it's too late to warn people. If they don't know, they don't know. It'll get figured out, I guess, at some point. I probably should have mentioned it though. Oh, let's see here. This is definitely still not mixed completely. I'm just trying to make sure that there's no, big loop of one part or the other on the stir stick, which there is. And we're going to continue stirring this for a bit. Scrape along the sides. And along the bottom. Oh, it's definitely still not mixed. Alright, we're going to keep mixing. Just keep mixing, just keep mixing. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what, like, the rules are. Like, I know that there are Twitch channels of people that do, like, music stuff. I have no idea how to do all that copyright stuff. Like, channels that do, like, covers of things. Or there's even, like, DJ, like, Twitch channels. They just, like, have DJ'd music and stuff. It's like, man, I have no idea how the copyright stuff works for any of this. But that's okay. I have enough other things I'm working on stream. I got resin stuff to do. I don't need to do music too. I don't know what I would do anyways. I can't play any instruments. I can only sing. And that'd just be kind of, well, actually I can play trombone. But I don't think I can play trombone and sing at the same time, so I don't see that working out too well. Actually, I say that I haven't played trombone in years. It's been a while. I still have my trombone. I should pull it out. I keep saying that, but like I haven't. Hi, Credstick! Ventriloquism stream. There we go. Oh man, I got something stuck in my throat. There we go. How are you doing, Credstick? I'm just getting the resin all stirred up at the moment. Talking about music. And how I would be singing all of the time if I wasn't afraid of getting copyright struck. To be fair, I think you can do like 10 seconds of have 10 seconds of a song before like it's a copyright claim or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. I can't remember what exactly it is, but so if I just sing like 10 seconds of a bunch of different songs, maybe we'd be fine. It'd be fine. Man, I don't know. It's so funny. I'm so like worried about like copyright and stuff, and trying to like avoid, doing copyright infringement on anything. And then like it's just so funny to me. I actually had an item taken down on Etsy by Etsy because it had a strike against it, which isn't a big deal. It's one thing and whatever. And it's because apparently the phone grip design that I bought like an off-brand like phone grip, blank phone grip, so that I could make my own. But apparently that design is patented, which I didn't know. So the pop socket was just like, hey, you can't sell these. We have a patent on this phone grip design. The way that it pops out, it's just like, oh, okay, all right. So
I do need to figure out what I'm going to do with a bunch of foam grips, but, you know, I'll get that figured out. But it is kind of, I feel like it's kind of funny just with how cautious I am about everything, that it then ends up being like a patent like thing that I didn't know about. It's just like, alright, I guess this might as well happen. This might as well happen. Alright, let me scrape this off. I'm going to scrape the sides one more time because it looks like it's pretty mixed. But I just want to make sure that there's none of one type or another stuck to the sides or to the bottom. But, yeah, still trying to figure out what to do with those. I have a couple of ideas. Alright, here's the real question is, what should I pour first? So, I think we're gonna do the trays last. Because we'll pour the resin into the cups for the trays last, and that's because they're my last priority, to be honest. Especially the flower one, because I can do that later. But I'm also trying to think of, so I kind of order how I do things in a couple of ways, like when I'm pouring dice. The main thing is that some designs work better when the resin is thinner, and some work better when the resin is thicker. So some work better when it's just been mixed and it's thin, a little bit thinner, and some of it works better after it's sat for a little while and it started to set up just a little bit. And so, you know, I want to do the designs first that require the resin being a little bit thinner. So I think I'm not seeing any streaks in here. I think we're good. I think we are good. So I think we probably want to do the Petri set maybe first, because we want the resin a little bit thinner for that. There's a couple of other things to kind of keep in mind though. But here, let me pour this off into here. This is for the Petri. I want about 30 milliliters. I'm going to go down to about 70. There we at. That's about 80. And we're slightly above 70, I think, so let me just add a little tiny bit more. I think we're at 70. Ow. Yeah. So there's about about 30 milliliters of resin for that. And then we have things like this where I'm just going to put clear in. So I might as well just pour it now. This is just getting clear in it. So let's pour it. And this is a little pond jumbo D10 for a set that I'm working on. And we're gonna, it has most of the things in there already. There is something on the lid there to get off. And we'll get that clear resin all set up. Let the bubbles start getting out of it. Okay, there we go. We set that off to the side. Same for this D20. This one's also going to have clear in it for the most part. So I'm going to fill this up most of the way with the clear. Most of the way. It's going to have some color at the top here, but let's get the clear in there, starting to let air bubbles rise. These D20s take so much resin. And I definitely want to make sure. Oh, come on. I want to make sure that the lightning doesn't move around too much. This one this one is coming out because it's not sitting where I want it to, and there's the 2 other ones in there. It should be fine. But I do want to make sure that there is enough resin that the tower is going to be visible for the most part. Alright, plenty of resin in there, and then we're just going to add a little tiny bit to all of these. These are for the storm in that one. And it shouldn't take very much resin at all to fill that storm in. So we'll mix those up. Alright, we've got our liquid core here. This one I want to do right now as well. This one this one I'm going to do right this second. And that's because I definitely want it to have time for air to rise to the surface, because there's going to be this big liquid core in the middle. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for the air to escape. So I'm going to do this now so that there is plenty of time for those air bubbles to rise to the surface, and it's easier for them to do so. So I'm going to put this silver at the bottom of the mold here. Just a bit of it. And then I'll put our liquid core in. I'm going to put the kind of little wonky part that I filled with some UV resin to seal it off. I'm going to put that down into the silver because, if we can cover that up a little bit, then great. And then, I think that's down. We've got we're going to have some clear with some gold foil. I don't think, and let's get our gold foil kind of split up. Yeah, we definitely have enough gold foil. I'm glad I didn't add that extra little piece of gold foil, because I think that would have been too much, but I think this will be just fine. I think this will be a good amount. I might need a little bit more resin. Yeah, there we go. And then we will pour that in as well. And try and get some of this. I'm squishing it so that the air will rise up, and then the resin has space to fill in where those air bubbles were. Okay, break up a little bit. Alright. Yeah. Might need even more resin. Hi, Dragoon! What's the theme on these? I'm doing a bunch of repours of various commissions tonight. I've got a super complex D20. Trying not to get that too resiny, that has like a tower and stuff in it. So we're doing a few little changes, just little tweaks on it. And then I've got a liquid core here. We tried doing it before with oil instead of water in it, which I hadn't tried before. And so now we're doing one with water just to see which one kind of works better, the water or the oil. And then I've got a set that I've been trying to get some glow-in-the-dark pigment to work, and it just hasn't been working. So we're trying something slightly different. We're just getting rid of the glow-in-the-darkness. And we're going to try doing some kind of white glitter instead. So let's see. So I'm just repouring the liquid core at the moment. I can show you the liquid core. I have it in a little cup so that I don't get resin all over it, but it's got like silver, and then it's got a copper liquid core with some gold foil in it. Do you ever do commissions where people send you the stuff to put in the dice? Yes, I've done those before. I did set a fake dice for someone with some little... Ah! Oh, the glow-in-the-dark ones. Yeah. Yeah, those ones, I like those ones. Those are fun. Yes, I have done that before. I did set a fake dice for someone that had some little bones that they had found in them. I did a set with like metal charms in them that the person they ordered and then sent me the charms. But yeah, I've done a couple where it's been like, hey, can I get this thing encased? Not a ton of that. Usually more often than not, people have said, "Hey, can you make something to go into a die?" But I don't know. I feel like that's kind of fun. It's a little nerve-wracking, I must admit. It's a little nerve-wracking to have someone ask you to put something that is important to them into a die, and I say that because it's like, usually with the dice, I have kind of a little bit of room for error. So like these are repours. So if I don't get it right the first time, I can just make another set of dice. But with things where it's just like, hey, can you put this particular item that is important to me into a die? It's just like, oh man, I better get this right the first time. I know for the set, so the set that I did the little bones in a long while back, not a long while back, but a little whiles back, where the person was just like, hey, I have these bones, and I'd like them in a set of dice. I did a couple of pours of dice without the bones, but with the same kind of design that we were talking about. Just go, hey, which of these designs do you like the best? Like, which one do you want to use for the final set? Because with things like that, it's like, I don't want to mess that up. I don't want to mess that up. It's also nerve-wracking because sometimes, like, things can mess up that are beyond my control, too. Like, if my pressure pot doesn't hold pressure really well, that'd be an issue, or something like that. But I luckily haven't had too many of those issues. Haven't really had too many of those issues. Let's put those off to the side for now. Is that going to be enough resin? That's the real question. So this is for a D2 that I'm doing. That is going to be kind of a lava sort of theme. Lava magma thing. So I've got like a translucent orange here. Nice bright translucent orange. And then a nice bright shimmery yellow. And it's going to go into this mold that I've already cured some black resin in. Because I think that'll be kind of fun. I'm just wondering if it's going to be enough resin. I think it will, because I think the not the UV resin, the D2, I don't know why I said UV resin. Well, the D2 does not take very much resin at all. So let's pour this in with the orange, and I'll do a dirty pour into there with the orange and the yellow. And if I need to mix up a little tiny bit more, I'll just mix up a little tiny bit more, but I think this should be plenty. The D2 does not take a lot of resin. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and pour this in. We're going for kind of yeah, this should be fine. Because we're going for kind of a lava sort of theme, like I said. Oh, good. I think this will be good. And there's plenty of resin. So, can't see the black anymore, but there's some that'll be on the lid that'll kind of speckle the back. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Alright, we've still got a bit of resin here, which is kind of good. Let's see here. So we want about 10 of this, maybe? And then about 5 of this. And 5 of this. Yeah, I hope it looks cool. I hope it looks cool. Oh. This is for a tray over here. I want to get my resin kind of out of the main cup though, because I found that if I leave a whole bunch of resin in here, it'll heat up and then start setting up fairly quickly. So we're gonna come back to that, but it's now at least in their own little containers. All right, let's do our Petri dice, because I need to get these probably poured fairly quick. I want to get these done, while the resin is still nice and runny. So Let's see here. Trying to move things out of the camera a little bit so my workspace isn't so busy that it's difficult to tell what's going on. I end up with so many little cups and things in my workspace as we progress. Okay. So this has some white shimmer and some white glitter in it. I'm going to mix this up a little bit. I just want to see how it's looking. I don't know if I can even see the white glitter. Oh, come on. I can see the cat hair. There's a cat hair in here now. I don't even know where that one came from. That one just like appeared out of nowhere. Alright. I don't even see the white glitter in this. So here's the real question. Is should I add a little bit of iridescent glitter in here? Should I add some like little flakes of iridescent glitter? Because I don't see the white really. I see the shimmer. Yes! Alright, I'm thinking, so we have kind of red and purple in here. I could go for more rainbow, or I could go for more blue. I've got a couple of options here. The glitter gremlin has spoken. I think this one has kind of like a pink and green, or this one actually. Let's do this one. This one has kind of a green glitter to it, green iridescent glitter to it, but it's also got some other colors in there, but I think it's a little bit smaller maybe. Yeah, that's definitely plenty of glitter. There wasn't very much left in there. Ah! But I just added a whole bunch of iridescent glitter in there. I think that was a good choice. We'll see what the person says. I'll send them photos and stuff. But yeah, that's nice. I think that's nice with the iridescent glitter. Excellent. Okay, so we're gonna fill these all up about. Glitter's always great. So, well, yeah, but I wanna make things that people are, it's a commission. So I want to make what the person is looking for here, but I think the iridescent glitter looks good, so hopefully they will as well. Just a second here. Alright, I'm going to fill these all up about halfway, because we are going to then swirl in some purple ink. So say you, the glitter gremlin, yeah. So we're going to swirl in some purple ink. And we're just going to go down the line and add some purple ink to all of these. And like I said, I only filled them about halfway because how do you make sure no glitter is like on the very edge exposed to air? That depends. I've done dice where it is before, and I've moved away from that, where I like dusted the molds with the glitter. My Galaxy dice used to be like that, where I straight up took the silicone molds and I dusted the glitter on the inside of them. Which makes it difficult for polishing, which is why I'm moving away from that. But there's not really a good way to like prevent that, except that the resin itself kind of creates a barrier. Like usually, if it's doesn't like stick to the side, there's a little bit of resin in between. Ooh, a bunch of purple in the D6. So it's not, not too big of a deal. And like even if it does end up a lot, like right up against the edge, and it does end up getting like partially sanded or something, it's not usually too big of a deal. not usually too big of a deal. Doesn't cause too many problems or anything. Okay. So we got our purple in there. Got our purple. I think we could use some more we could use more in the D20. Just a second. We'll put more purple in the D20. Alright, there we go. So there's that. And then we are going to fill it up the rest of the way. And that's another reason that I do this while the resin's still a little runny, because now when I fill it up, it's going to displace all of that color and make it spread out even more. And that's part of the reason that I fill it up halfway. The other reason that I fill it up halfway before doing that, or I only fill it up halfway before doing that, is that I found that if I fill it up all the way and then try to swirl the ink in, it all ends up just at the top. Like, it all ends up just at the edge of where the lid is. This way it ends up a lot more evenly distributed through the die. I have enough resin here. Now I need to not fill these too much actually, because I'm going to be doing... I don't want these to dome yet. So usually when I'm, about to put them into the thing, I want to kind of overfill them a little bit, because I want to have extra resin for once they go in the pressure pot to fill in where there's air bubbles. But in this case, I'm going to be adding a bunch of ink on top, and that is easier to do if it's not, domed over. I want to make sure that the ink can kind of fall in almost. I almost want it underfilled a little bit, which is why I'm going to scrape some of this off for now. And we'll add more resin in after we do that. So, I want them a little kind of underfilled. Okay, there we go. Got all of our resin here, and then let us add our drops. So I'm going to add some red ink, which I like this red ink. So I didn't have a red alcohol ink, and I went and found... I also didn't have a brown, which I really wanted, so I went and found a set of just like fairly cheap alcohol inks on Amazon. And quite honestly, they've been pretty great. They work really well. I've been kind of surprised with how good the color is. So we're going to do our red, and then the white here is actually what makes it sink. So the white's what's going to make all that color sink to the bottom. Alright. And I get to that. And that's probably enough there. And then we'll let these sit for a minute and let that stuff start to sink to the bottom, and then we will add the rest of our resin on the lids and on top. Let's see, while we're doing that, what do we got? What do we got left? Oh, actually, I also want to do, yeah, we're going to have plenty of resin, so I want to do this keychain too. Because this is for a commission. I like to do keychains for commissions. That's my, yeah, no, I like to throw in extra things for commissions, but I feel like keychains are fun. I've talked about it before. I feel like if someone's getting a commission of something, they're getting it because it's for something that's important to them, a character, or a song, or, just something that matters to them. And, like, I don't usually use a lot of keychains myself, but I feel like if I was going to use a keychain, I'd want to use a keychain for something that matters to me. So, I figure a keychain makes sense to go with the commissions. Alright, so let's get this all inked up as well. And this has a bunch of ink at the top. Which that might not cure quite right, but that's fine. I will I'll end up cutting it off probably or something. Or sanding it down. I might just sand it down. And I've got a little bit of resin here. I'll start putting some on the lids here. And that's partially just to make sure that there's no like air, like bubbles that get trapped in the numbers or anything. That's why I add a little bit to the lids, because I don't want any air, like big air bubbles trapped between the lids and the base part. Because, well, the little tiny air bubbles will get, you know, squished down by the pressure pot. It's, big ones won't necessarily, so. Hopefully that sinks. Alright, let's see what else have we got here. Let's start mixing up our colors for our D20. I'm letting this one sit because I think, quite honestly, I want to do the kind of storm bit when it's a little bit thicker, because I don't want any of these colors to sink. That's really what it comes down to. I want these colors to stay at the very top of the dye. It's also why I didn't super saturate them with pigment or anything. I don't want them to sink. I just want them to swirl nicely at the top. Because I don't want the tower to get covered up again. So we're gonna add one that's a little bit thicker. And it's at the top, so I'm not too worried about getting like a bunch of air bubbles or anything by adding it. It's a little bit thicker. Okay, I think this might need a little bit more pigment. That might be okay. I do worry that it's not going to be opaque enough, though. I do worry that it's not going to be opaque enough. I don't know, what... How opaque do you want the storm, Jen? Like, I guess that's a question. I feel like at the moment the storm's not going to be very opaque. I might want to add a little bit more of this pigment, I'm thinking. But at the same time, that might be good. Enough to be cloud, yeah. It might be good if it's not super opaque, because then it might make it so that the tower's easier to see. Let's add a little bit more of this pigment, though. Maybe not that much. Yeah, not super opaque, that's fair. I do want it to be, like, readable as being its own entity, and not just, like, kind of blend in with everything else, so I'll add a little bit more of this pigment, at least. Oh, I think I said that in some resin. That's unfortunate. That's the multichrome that's kind of the orangish with the blue. Just add a little bit more in there. I think this blue will help, though, because it's kind of semi-translucent at the moment, but it's dark enough that I think it'll translate as it being its own thing. So, I'll give that a minute. Yeah, there's definitely still color there. That's the important part. Has any of this started to sink? Like none of the I have the red here. Let me. Kind of give it a place to start. Actually, that might work. So I just kind of like, I was just kind of stabbing this a little bit because all of that ink was sitting on top, and it seemed like it didn't have a place to kind of start. Like it wasn't actually starting to sink anywhere. But I think just doing that has now given it a place to kind of sit, and I think it might actually sink better from there now. All right. All right, let's start getting the stuff mixed up for the tray over here while we let these sit for a little while longer. We've got that blue, that's our dark blue. We've got our light blue. We've got our gold here. This is the tray. We're doing, you know, kind of our last-ish layer here to kind of even everything out because, you know, the sand's kind of sticking up a little bit. I am going to add a little bit of clear, just to do something kind of in between the blue and the gold that I'm going to be doing. Just because I don't want the blue and the gold to mix too much, I think. So this is going to be kind of like a gold. So I have actual sand here. And then this gold's going to be underneath it, because I thought it matched well. And it'll just give it kind of a smoother finish on the bottom than sand would, while still matching. So let's pour some of this in here. Let me get everything else mixed up. Here's our light blue. Very light blue. Nice and light. And then here is our dark blue. I was debating doing like just dark blue, but I feel like it'll be nicer with the light blue. So this is gonna go over here. And let's just put all of that in. Might as well. Put all of the dark blue in. It's gonna be all kind of at this side, not with the cat hair. Okay. I think I've said this before, I think I bring in a lot of the cat hair on my sweater. So this is like my house sweater. I wear it around the house like all day because I'm cheap and keep my house cold. It's starting to get cold out. I guess even even when it's hot out, I wear my sweater around, but because the basement stays pretty consistent temperature, which is where I'm at. But I think probably after, you know, gallivanting about the house with that has the cats in it, I'll probably bring it in on my sweater. Let's add our other blue. I don't drop the thing here. Alright. Get all of this out of our little mixing cup here. A nice light blue. Put that in between the dark blue and the clear. I hope this is enough to kind of flatten everything out. I might end up doing one more layer like I plan to do on the flowery one over here. Just to kind of even everything out on the bottom, but even more so. But we'll see. This might be enough. Here, and then we're going to do our gold. Just a nice shimmery gold, nice smooth gold. Kind of back the sand here, because I think that'll be nice. Alright. Get all of that out of the mixing cup as well. Come on. Just trying to get all that last little bit out of there. Just scrape the container. No, not another cat hair. Get out. You are not wanted here. You are not welcome, cat hair. Alright. My cats have gotten so cuddly since it's gotten cold out. I mean, they're cuddly anyways, but I feel like they've been even more cuddly. They're just like, it's so cold. Let me sit on your lap. Let's hang out. It's kind of cute, to be honest. They're all cuddly anyways, though. They're all cuddly anyways. And I'm just going to kind of spread this out a little bit, because I think if I don't manually spread it out, it might not, you know, end up covering everything. It'll flow, but then it'll just have like little areas that it doesn't like, I don't know, because surface tension, it'll end up with kind of like a droplet type effect type thing. So let's get this spread out. And I'm going to get it all the way over to this clear here. And then we can kind of start moving things around a little bit. And let it start kind of settling on its own. All right. And then let me do the same thing with the blue, which is why I still held on to this blue one right here so that I can kind of do the same thing, and start spreading this out as well. I'm going to do that, kind of start swirling things together a little bit, the clear and the blue a little bit, and the darker blue with the lighter blue, so it's not like a sharp transition or anything. I'm going to just try and spread everything out, and then let things kind of even out, I guess. Just kind of trying to fade things a little bit together. Alright. And then I'm going to spritz this down so we can hopefully get some of these bubbles off the surface. This just helps kind of break the surface tension a little bit and get some of the bubbles off. And we'll see how this settles out. It ended up being kind of half and half. I was originally going for like a third beach and 2/3 ocean, but it kind of just kept spreading a little bit. So, let's see how things are going along. I think maybe we're to a point where we could finish these up. So let's do our last little bit of resin into these. We do want these to dome a little bit. I'm going to have a little bit of kind of extra resin so that when we put them in the pressure pot and all the air bubbles that are in them get squished down really, really small, there's resin to fill in for where the air bubbles were. Alright, just go down the line here and add a little bit of extra resin to all of these. Oh, here's a question for you guys. I know we're a little bit past Halloween now, but this is kind of a twofold question. What is your favorite Halloween movie, and what is your favorite Christmas movie? Or even like what, do you have like a Christmas movie that you watch every year? Or a holiday movie that you watch every year? It's just like a comfort movie. Mine is for the holiday season. Nightmare Before Christmas for both. That was my first thought as well. Oh man, so that movie as a kid, been a minute since you've seen either movies. That's fair. I was going to say though about Nightmare Before Christmas, I did not like scary things at all as a kid. Like, I could not handle scary things. And so my parents were very wary about showing me that movie as a kid, because they were, rightfully concerned that I'd, be scared by it. But they did eventually. They let me see the movie. Let me see Nightmare Before Christmas. And then I proceeded to watch it on repeat. I loved that movie so much as a kid. I just watched it repeatedly, apparently. Oh. So I still really like that movie. I feel like, yeah, I guess I could be for either one. For Christmas though, I really like the movie White Christmas. It's a musical. I don't know. It's just kind of a feel-good movie, I guess. It's one of those movies that I grew up watching, and it's just like a happy movie, I guess. I always think of White Christmas in the same way that I think about Singing in the Rain, where it's just like kind of a fun movie with unnecessary song and dance numbers, which is that's just my style right there. Fun movie with song and dance numbers. Gotta have the unnecessary song and dance numbers. I was definitely the musical theater kid. Well, I say that I was a musical theater kid. I was a musical theater kid, but I was also a band kid. So I didn't do drama class in high school or choir because I was in band. But I also grew up doing local community musical type things because it's so much fun, and also because I had an even bigger ego as a child. No, well, yes, but all right. Let's get all the bubbles popped on the surface here. That's why I'm spritzing it down, trying to get all the bubbles on the surface to break surface tension a little bit. those are looking pretty good. I think kind of the last real thing. Oh good, it's starting to drip a little bit. That's what I was concerned about. So the stuff is starting to drip in there, which is good. I think the last real thing that I need to do is the clouds in this one, the swirling storm. Let me move some things here so I have a little bit of room. Just right here. I don't want to get sticky resin all over that. Probably have already, but that's the flour tray. I'm grabbing this tray though, my little tray that I put things in the pressure pot on, so I can start setting things off to the side so they're out of my way, because all of this stuff is in my way at the moment. It's just right in the middle of everything. Oh. Did you guys have like a favorite movie growing up? I feel like, I wonder how much it says about me that like my favorite movies as a kid were Nightmare Before Christmas, and then like Mulan, loved Mulan. I repeated Bambi. Oh wow, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what movie did you watch on repeat as a child? Because I guess mine was Nightmare Before Christmas. In your tweens, teens, it was Equilibrium. What's that? I don't know that one. I don't know that movie. Your favorite movie still is Equilibrium. I'm not familiar with that one. Nobody knows it. To be fair, it's been a running joke all of my life with all of my friends that I have not seen most movies. Like, I grew up watching like Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals and some Disney. And like old television shows. That was another one that I loved as a kid. I was maybe like middle school or something. I loved The Nanny. That was something that I loved as a kid. It's a sci-fi dystopia future movie that's about preventing World War IV, 3 already happened, by mandating and enforcing a medication that suppresses emotions. Also, there's gun kung fu. Fair, yeah. I can see why you like that. Okay. So, I'm going to try and put this in here. I'm trying not to knock around the lightning. So that's my big concern at the moment. I don't want to knock around the lightning too much. So add some of that. We definitely want to add some of this. This is kind of the main color that we want, really. This is our multi-chrome. It's kind of orange and it has like blue shimmer to it. And I want it in there. I don't want it too far down. So I don't know. There's a balancing act here that I'm trying to perform, and we'll see how well I perform it. And a little bit of our black silver. And a little bit of this one. I might just leave that here and then add these to the lid here. We'll just leave these as kind of like an afterthought, almost the black and the orange. So I think we're going to call that pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to read what you wrote in just a second. Let me finish getting this up top here. It made back a quarter of its budget. Oh, and a lot of people compare it to Fahrenheit 451, but 1, you love it and think it's neat, and 2, the director himself was like, I do not give a heck about critics' opinions. They're not fun to party with. It sounds like a movie that was just made for fun. That was something that, yeah, there's some movies that, like, sometimes movies don't need to be good. They just need to be fun. Like, maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but it's like, some movies, like, they don't need to be, like, cinematic masterpieces. They can just be fun to be a good movie. That's the point, I guess. All right. So we still got a little bit of resin left. Maybe we could do we might be able to do this. It's good and fun and horribly underrated. All right, maybe I'll have to check that out. Oh, I hear a knot outside my door. Baby, I'm almost done. Baby. I'm almost done. She's very sad that I am in here and she is not. But I also have things with fumes that I'm working with at the moment. So she cannot be in here. Quoth the knot. Meow. Yep. It's a beautiful quote. I should get it on a t-shirt. Alright, let's see here. There's a little bit of that left. Let's make sure this has enough. And make sure there's no like big air bubbles here before I get rid of all the clear. I'm going to make sure that everything that might need clear has it. Kitten, stop scratching! Stop scratching at the door, baby. You're not coming in. Not right now. Baby. I'll be out in a minute. I'm almost done. I am almost done. We're just gonna start getting the lids on things, I think, and we'll be all set to go. This one looks like it has enough clear. Yeah, that one's got plenty of clear. And then, so I think we just have this left. I think actually we're going to get all of the things that we wanted to get done. That's a first. Well, it's not a first, but I think we're going to have like just enough resin to do it. Just enough. All right, set some of these things off to the side. Trying to get everything out of the way. Alright, so the last thing, this one's going to be fun. This is going to be fun. How do I want to do this? How do you want to do this? So here's my problem. I don't want to get a whole bunch of resin on the side of this. So I almost want to set it on something that I can then put into my thing. Where did I put that one plastic case? Where did I put that? I had a thing. Where did I put it? I don't know where I put it. You know what? I think this will work. So I'm going to set this on top of this so that I can pick it up by this, so that I can put it into the pressure pot by that. So that'll be better. That way I won't get like resin all over the sides and everything. That is the one problem. All right. So we're just gonna make some nice dark brown resin. Not even that dark, but I just want to kind of smooth this out a little bit because there's just some spots in here that are just not very smooth. Not very smooth at all. So I want to smooth it out a little bit. Probably could use a little bit more resin here, but that's okay. Alright. So I'm just going to kind of spread this out a little bit. And then we'll call it good. Because like the other one, I do think that if I don't spread it out, it won't spread out to all of the parts. So it won't like kind of know where to flow. Just because of surface tension and stuff, because there's not actually that much resin here. I just want enough though smooth it out though, because there's just a couple of like little bumps and lumps and stuff here where the kind of like dirt, it's the coffee grounds and stuff, where it has a bunch of texture, and so it kind of stuck out a little bit, and that is not what I want. I want this thing to rest nice and flat on a table. Plus, I think it needs a little bit more filled in on this side than it does on that side, which is fine. Ah, no, that is the opposite of what I wanted. So I'm just going to try and get this to smooth out over the whole thing. There we go. And it should self-level for the most part, but I want it to self-level over the whole thing so it's nice and smooth. I don't want like a line somewhere where it didn't actually come into contact. Baby, I'm working at the moment. I'm working on stuff. Sorry, baby. I'm still working on stuff. I'll be out in a minute. We're gonna get the lids on these things. She's still very unhappy. I don't know why she's so unhappy all of a sudden. It's so strange. She not is maybe my most affectionate cat. Maybe. All of my cats are affectionate, but they're affectionate in different ways. Not though. Not is the cat that as soon as you sit down, well, as soon as I sit down, she's in my lap. She's very affectionate that way. She's such a sweetheart. My parent, I demand entry and attention. Let me in. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Okay, we're gonna try something here. Let's see if I can get it to flow. Oh, I'd say it's getting a little bit thicker. Since it's not really flowing too much. Now, let's do... I'm gonna hold it like this. Hopefully I don't get too much resin on my hands. I just want it to be kind of spread out. Alright. Alright. I'm trying to get this even, and then we're gonna, so what we're doing, I'm gonna get this nice and even, hopefully, and then we are going to get all of the lids on everything and get going. So we've got a little bit of time here while I get all the lids on. I think we've got a little bit of extra resin, just a little bit. So we'll throw that into some sort of extra dye mold. I think I have kind of an idea here for some of it, maybe. We'll see. Depends on what I've got left over here. Trying to get, yeah, there's not very much resin here at all. It's pretty, yeah, this is not actually that much resin. So these trays, I got like commissions for like 3 trays all right next to each other, and I like rarely get commissions for trays. And it's funny because I have my mom asking for one, and another friend that was asking about getting one as well, like all at the same time. It's just kind of funny to me because I don't think I sold one on Etsy, and then suddenly I have all of the tray requests. But the thing with the up here's for tray. Yes, yours is next. Yours is next. I plan to do yours on Monday, But that's the thing with the trays, is what I was going to say, is that like the trays take like 100 milliliters of resin, maybe a little bit less, maybe 80. Depends on how thick it needs to be, but I'll probably do like 80, I think, and then we might do another layer on yours. I'm still debating whether I want to do an opaque back or a leave it translucent on the one that you're getting, Jen. But I have plans for the design though. So we'll leave it translucent and then see if I want to add an opaque back or not. But the point is, like they take, 80 to 100 milliliters of resin, probably around that, and that is a full mixing cup. Okay, let me real quick. Let me put this on the this tray so that I can go into the. And I've grabbed it, so we're just gonna. Ooh, can we put both this and the? Ooh, just a second. We may have an issue. Can we put both of these in? Aha. Huh. Huh. It appears that not both of those will fit. Actually, I think we put this one on top of that, so I think I'm okay. I think we are okay. We're going to set this into the pressure pot and get it out of the way. To be fair, that one probably doesn't even need to go into the pressure pot now that I'm thinking about it, but oh well. Alright, let's start getting the lids on everything. But no, it's just kind of funny to me that like I didn't sell any trays and then I had like 5 requests for trays all at once. But no, they take like 80 to 100 milliliters, so I don't usually do them on stream, because that would be the only thing that I'd make, because it's a full mixing cup of resin. I can't remember where I was going with this. I was going somewhere with this, but I don't remember where it was, which is very, very useful to me. Alright, let's start getting some lids on. Let's see here. Where was I going with that? I don't remember. That's very. I can't remember. I can't remember. I think I was just going to say that it's like. I don't do them on stream, maybe, usually, because of how much. Oh, I need to figure out what sort of extra things to send along with trays, now that I think about it. I don't know what I want to do there. Probably a keychain still, maybe a D6 or something. But no, just a keychain. Probably just a keychain. And the reason for that is that not everyone who's going to order a tray is going to want it for dice. So, probably send along a matching keychain. I feel like keychains are just an easy bet, because then if someone's getting it for not dice, then it still works. Most people have keys to something if they have their own income. You know what I mean? It's just like most people have keys. Usually if you're ordering something, you probably have keys of some sort to a house or an apartment, a car. That's kind of interesting to think of. It's kind of interesting to think about, like, how pretty much, like, there's so many people out there that have keys. That sounds strange, but it's just like, it's easy to make the assumption that, like, if you meet someone, they have keys, and they're probably on the person too. Like, I don't know. That's just a weird thought I just had. Not quite sure how to explain that thought exactly, but it's a weird thought I had. Alright, I'm going to get this off to the side here, because I think I'm going to try and put the tray across the top of some of these. And I want this kind of off to the side if I can. I think this glitter's going to be nice. I hope that the person that's ordering these likes the glitter choice. I hope that they like it. Man, I'm excited for this pond die too that has the lily pad in it, because I think that this is the last, well, this and the D2 are the last ones I need for that set. So I'm almost done. Almost done. Which is very exciting. Very exciting to be almost done. I'll have to start sanding things though. This goes this way. So one of the things I do when I'm making my molds now is that I can show you on this one. I will make some of the corners squares and some of them triangles. And I don't usually do triangles on like opposite and squares on opposite, so that I can tell which direction the lid goes on. Because if I do it all triangles, sometimes I'm just like, this goes one of these directions, I don't know. Alright. Put that lid on. And then let's get our lava D2 over here. This one's looking pretty good. Let me just spritz it just in case. Yep, don't see too many bubbles. Did I just put it on the wrong direction. I don't even know how I put it on the wrong direction on that one. That one, it's almost impressive that I put it on the wrong direction. Alright, I'm going to put that underneath something else. Alright. So, I think, let's do a D6. So, I'm going to put all of our leftover pigments from the storm in here. And let's see if we can make kind of a dye that kind of matches the storm a little bit. So I've decided, I think that with the jumbo D20s, I think I'm going to send along kind of the, say, like a bonus die and a keychain. Because even just the jumbo D20s are, I'd say that they are, I don't know, kind of a bigger thing, I guess. So let's pour all of this in here. I'm hoping that there's enough, like I can scrape out enough of the clear. I don't know, I guess. We'll find out. We will find out what I put on the other half of this. I'm not sure now that I'm thinking about it. What else I'm going to put in here with these colors. Because I don't think these colors are going to fill this up fully. But we're using it as a dump mold anyway. All the extra resin. All the extra resin? All the extra resin. Oh man, I have my fingers crossed for that D20 to work out. I really hope it does. It is nice though, now that I have like how to make all of the pieces figured out, that it is like a lot easier to remake things now. I feel like a lot of the some of the time and energy and stuff went into just figuring out how to create all of the pieces. It wasn't even like creating them, it was just figuring out how to create them. And now that I've, expended that brain energy, I don't have to try and do that again. I can just, sit down and actually create them. Why is there a purple fleck there? Get out, purple fleck. Anyways, there's a little bit of clear in here. Not nearly enough for the D6 though. I wonder if there's enough of this clear with gold flake in it though for the D6. I wonder if this will fill it up the rest of the way. This is just, oh wait. That's going with a, oh, I really should make a keychain for this too, actually. To go with the D20. let's do this, actually. We're going to use the rest of this. And then this one I'll fill up with probably clear later. I'll finish it off later in a second pour. This one, I kind of wish I poured a little bit of resin with some of the copper now so that it would, I could put some of it in here as well. But maybe I will do a secondary layer that has copper because I don't know how much resin I have here. Might not be quite enough resin for this even. So we might add kind of like a secondary layer of like copper. Yeah, I think we will. So that's fine. And it works out, honestly. It'd be kind of like two-tone. It'd be kind of cool. Put this over here as well. And then what we've got left here is this orange. I think that is the orange and yellow, actually. I think that is it. So can put that in. That could go in. There we go. Yeah, that seems fine. Let me put this D2 over here, I think. That sticks up a little bit too much. Trying to get things at the right heights. Yeah, that's a little bit better. All right. So we've got our orange and yellow. Let's put that into just maybe. There's not a lot left here. This is the thing. About 2.5. Let's put that into a D2 mold maybe. I think that might fill this up. So let's do that. Just make some extra dice. I think maybe making some spare D2s is not a bad idea. Because if I want to, because then I could change my, so I have raw mystery sets of dice in my shop. So basically it's just like a mixed set of dice, you know, they're all different. They're raw. And at the moment they're 7-piece sets, so they don't include a D2. But if I start making some D2s, I can make it so that they include the D2. I can make it so that they're 8-piece sets instead of 7-piece sets. And that'd be kind of cool. And they match all of my other dice. I actually still have a couple of 7-piece sets that just never sold. I'm kind of deciding what I want to do with those. So I have a few sets that just like never sold, but they're really pretty. The problem is that like they're pretty in person. They're not nearly as pretty on camera. Like they just like all of their interest lies in like how they shimmer in the light and stuff. Like I have a set of dice that never sold that they just kind of appear kind of white-ish, kind of an off-white almost when you look at them, but then like in the light they shimmer gold and purple. And they never sold, and it's just like, yeah, I can see why these never sold, because I just couldn't get a good photo of them. Could not get a good photo of them. Alright, I think that's the end of that. I'm going to go set these in the pressure pot and get things going, get these things curing. Just a reminder, I am streaming at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, not noon on Saturday, and we're going to play some Minecraft. So that's a little bit different than normal. This way, because it's a little bit higher, and I'd rather that kind of flow that way. All right. So it'll be a little bit different than normal, but hopefully I'll see you guys there. I will be streaming again next Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Probably doing more resin. It's usually resin on Wednesdays. But until then, thanks for stopping by, guys. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!